There are four ways I can defend murder. Number one, it wasn't murder. It was suicide or accidental. Number two, you didn't do it. Number three, you were legally justified, like the protection of your home or self-defense. Number four, the killing was excusable.
For the next month, we're going to be talking about movies that involve justice or that take place in courtrooms. Justice Night Extravaganza will take us to places from the courtroom to, well, mainly just the courtroom. Tonight we're talking about Otto Preminger's 1959 Anatomy of a Murder, which has been called the finest pure trial movie ever made.
Also looked for a certain undergarment of Mrs. Mannion's, but we didn't find it.
Will the attorneys for both sides approach the bench, please?
Mr. Bigler, you finally got your rape into the case, and I think all the details should now be made clear to the jury. Do you agree, Mr. Ludwig?
Absolutely.
What exactly was the undergarment just referred to?
Panties, Your Honor.
Based on the 1957 novel Anatomy of a Murder by Robert Traver. Traver was the pen name of John D. Volker. Volker was a noted lawyer from Upper Michigan with ambitious political goals. He was Marquette County prosecutor, a member of the Michigan Bar Association, and even assisted the Attorney General in investigating the Michigan legislature for bribery. After his political career stalled out and he lost re-election, he began a private practice, which became infamous for a case called the People versus Coleman Peterson. Peterson was a war veteran of two wars, Korea and World War II, that shot a bar owner after Peterson's wife claimed she had been raped and beaten. What made it famous, or infamous, was that Volker hunted down and successfully used a little-known insanity defense called irresistible impulse. Nobody had even heard of it, much less used it, since the People versus Durfee in the 1880s. In exchange for his top-shelf defense, Volker got stiffed by Coleman Peterson and his wife, who took off without paying, leaving him with the murder weapon, but not the $3,000 he was owed. After Volker closed up his office, Governor Soapy Williams appointed Volker to the Michigan Supreme Court. At the same time, Volker had a successful career as a writer, and in 1957, he managed to turn the Coleman Peterson story into the novel Anatomy of a Murder.
Now, doctor, if a woman says that she has had intercourse with a certain man, and the man is proved fertile even though no evidence is found in the woman's body, could a lawyer, say a prosecuting attorney, could he use this as evidence that the woman is lying?
Your Honor, I object to this line of questioning.
The novel was purchased by Otto Preminger for the film rights. The movie stars Jimmy Stewart as the lawyer, Paul Begler, Lee Remick as Laura Mannion, Ben Gazzara as Lieutenant Frederick Mannion, his client. Mannion is accused of shooting and killing a bar owner after his beautiful and flirtatious wife, Laura, claims that she was raped by him. On the opposing side, George C. Scott plays the big city assistant state attorney, Claude Dancer, and Brooks West, the prosecutor. Joseph N. Welch, the real-life famous lawyer who served the Army during the McCarthy hearings, delivering the famous line, "Have you no sense of decency, sir?" which basically ended McCarthy's power, played the judge who hears the case.
Let us not assassinate this lad further, Senator. You've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?
They filmed the movie in the Upper Peninsula, including at Volker's real office, Ishpeming, where Volker lived and worked his whole life, Big Bay, and Marquette. The scene of the murder in the film was actually one block from where the real Coleman Peterson murdered the bar owner. This sense of realness and authenticity has been highly praised by critics, many of whom have said that Anatomy of a Murder is one of the best trial films ever made, including the American Bar Association in their 1989 12 Best Trial Films of All Time list. It's ranked number 4 in the ABA's 25 Greatest Legal Movies. Anatomy of a Murder has been used in law classes as it shows every single step of preparing for trial. It's so close to the actual case and trial that the victim's daughter actually tried to sue for damages and libel. Another highly praised part of this film is that Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn came along to compose a score and have Duke appear in the film. Duke Ellington plays Pie-Eye, a piano player at the bar where the murder happens. Ellington's orchestra members appear in a bar scene, and has been praised for being one of the first big Hollywood films with non-diegetic music composed by African Americans. It's also a landmark in what words are allowed. Words like spermatogenesis, contraceptive, and climax were not allowed in movies under the Hays Code, although it was eventually pointed out that these are actually clinically acceptable words. and that meant it did get passed through the censors.
And these 12 people are asked to judge another human being as different from them as they are from each other. And in their judgment, they must become of one mind, unanimous. It's one of the miracles of man's disorganized soul that they can do it. In most instances, do it right well. God bless juries.